old Alfred, throw the ball, bitch. My
Mm-hmm.
dad's playing games. Throw the fucking ball.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Nooner Nation podcast for Nooners by Nooners. You already know what to do: like, subscribe, rate, review, all that stuff. Share with your friends. Uh, so it's a duo tonight. Jake is doing stuff for his hot air balloon documentary that goes live. I think Saturday is when they debut. That is what he said.
Pretty
So
soon.
yeah, I think it's like some big hot air balloon festival in Albuquerque where he lives this weekend, and they're gonna like do a big premiere. He was saying they have like a massive projector and stuff, and yeah, hopefully it works out for him. I know they spent him and a pretty small crew of people spent a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of hours on it, and trailer looks dope. He's shared with me a couple of just clips of it, and it looks great. So
Yeah,
you know, but yeah,
very cool.
looks dope. Not a whole lot new this week, right? Did anybody die this week? Anybody famous, anyways?
Jane Goodall, but I don't
Oh
know if you
yeah,
care.
yes, Jane Goodall. I, to be fair,
The ape woman.
when I saw like, oh, Jane Goodall died, I was like, I thought she died like years ago.
She's still
Yeah,
alive.
you ever get those where you're like, oh, that person was still alive? Like, I'm sure, like, I'm gonna get like the alert, like, oh, Dick Van Dyke dead at 101. I'd be like, oh fuck, Dick Van Dyke was still alive. I forgot about
I mean,
that.
he is still doing shit. But that's where we get the Mandela effect is because everybody thought Nelson Mandela died a long time
Died in
ago. It's
prison.
like,
Yeah.
no, he was alive for a while.
Yeah, he ran a.
That's literally where Mandela effect comes from. It's like I thought this is like, well, no, that's not no. Like that. And yeah, Dick Van Dyke. It's like, no, that motherfucker's still alive and kicking.
Still kicking.
Literally, I think he was just in a music video for what Coldplay, doing his dancing
Oh
shit
shit, I don't
that made
know.
him
Maybe.
famous. So it's just like, well, for some people, it's literally one of those scenarios of like a Rolling Stone gathers no moss, which literally also applies to the literal Rolling Stones, where it's just like if you don't stop what you're doing, some people can go on forever.
Oh yeah,
So
it's all about having purpose, right? Dick Van Dyke still got a purpose, so
I
he's
think a lot of it,
still rolling.
if your body doesn't betray you with cancer or any other horrible disease sort of thing, and you keep your health up decently, like, yes, you can. And especially if you're British, it's like, it doesn't even matter if you don't keep your health up.
Oh,
Like,
well, watch. Dick Van Dyke's
yeah,
gonna live to like 120, and he's gonna finally say
I,
like he's gonna.
I highly doubt
I know, but
that, but
it's gonna
he's
come out.
old as
It's gonna
balls.
come out like secretly this whole time, just like Keith Richards. He's just been doing heroin and getting his blood transfused every year since like the 60s. It's like, Dick, what? Dick Van Dyke doing heroin all this time? Doing blood
The fountain of youth
transfusions?
is actually from the milk of the poppy sort of thing from the poppy.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
Dick Van
fountain of youth
Dyke's
is the poppy.
Dick Van Dyke's old enough. He's gonna start out as like, well, one time I had this headache and this doctor in Chinatown prescribed me laudanum. And
Lord, no,
that's when it
right?
started. That's when it started. Me and Wyatt Earp were doing laudanum in some Chinese opium den back in the early 1900s.
I mean, he is pretty fucking close to
He was
meeting
born.
Wyatt Earp. That like he
Let's see, when was he born?
was alive during that time. I don't think he was in Hollywood during that time. I do believe it was John Ford that had some conversations with Wyatt Earp. Um, and then John Ford, of course, was fuck, what was the last Stagecoach? I believe was like John Wayne's first
Yeah, John
movie
Wayne met Wyatt
appearance
Earp, like an old
with.
Wyatt Earp.
I think it was John. I'm not 1,000% sure on that, but I know at least John Ford did, who was like director, who made John Wayne. You know,
Movies, yeah.
he starred him in his
Yeah.
first movie, which was The Last Stagecoach. So I think that was a thing. And then, of course, in McClintock, uh, John Wayne had Dick Van Dyke's brother in that movie. So there's like a Kevin Bacon connection sort of thing there, but I don't think that they ever met. But I do think they were maybe around that same time frame, but I don't think they ever met. That's fucking wild that like the actual Wyatt Earp talked to Hollywood people
Oh yeah.
and it like told them like what it was like and gave them a bit of an influence. And it's just like fucking what? And then apparently like John Wayne's or Wyatt Earp's, I don't know if his, I think it was his wife when he died. I don't know which wife that was for him. I don't believe that was his first. Was very religious. So like when she would go visit family
Hmm.
away, Wyatt Earp would go to Hollywood and like hang out with people and tell his stories and have a good fucking time because have a good time that his wife would not
Right.
be okay with. So he was like, "Oh, well, she's gone. I can go do this."
Yeah,
So that's fucking wild.
I just looked it up because I've been for Christmas this past Christmas. It's almost been a year now, but my wife got me Red Dead Redemption 2 for my Xbox. I've been playing
Mm-hmm.
that, and it's set in 1899, and it's kind of like the end
Mm-hmm.
of the Wild West era. And I was thinking
Yeah.
about this while I was playing it. It's like everybody's on horseback, they're robbing trains, doing like Wild West style shit. That game is set 18 years from when the U.S. entered World War One.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
man, like
Megan
history moves
World War One was
fast.
what 1915.
It was what was it? I just said 1917. Yeah. So then at the end of spoiler alerts, Red Dead 2, there
Well, I
is
think it started in 1915, but the
the
U.S. didn't
U.S.
get into it
entered in
until
1917,
later.
and there's like an epilogue that takes place in like 1902, I think, and I was like, even closer, 15 years. They're still like riding wagons and robbing trains and stealing horses and
There, oh gosh, I so literally about 4 weeks ago, I met a man in Dollar Western wear. Me and Roman. He knew the guy that was working with the horses on a Howard Hughes production. And I know his last name was Johnson. I cannot remember his first name. I was just trying to look it up. But he's one of the only people that has an NFR and an Oscar uh,
okay.
winning. Like he won the NFR and won an Oscar. Something Johnson. I can't remember his first name.
What's an NFR, like National Film Academy?
National Rodeo.
Oh,
National Final Ships Rodeo or something like
okay.
that. So like he was a actual fucking cowboy, and they had his horses on a cowboy production from fucking Howard Hughes. One of the horses got spooked with the main actress, started running off. He got on a horse, saved her, saved everything. Howard Hughes was like, "How much money do you make?" And he was like, $25 a month. And he was like, "How about you make $500 a week?" And he was like, "Excuse me." So this was in
Back
that
then,
time.
back then
Howard
you could,
Hughes. So this was,
back then you could buy a Buick for probably like $500.
I mean, yeah, like this guy made, like he said, $25 a fucking month. That's what
Mhm.
he did. So he was in a lot of movies, became very famous. And this guy that I had met was damn near neighbors with him. And he did leather workings, which is how he met this guy. And like through this guy, he met Tom Selleck and like all like the cowboy actors and shit like that. And I was like, who the fuck is this man? Like it was fucking surreal. We were there standing in the boot aisle in Dollar Western Wear for 2 hours.
Just talking to this
And
dude.
yeah, just talking to this guy about his life and all this shit. And then after that, when we left, he caught us in the parking lot and we were like, "We're going to Buffalo Wild Wings. Come with us." This is the most interesting man I've ever met in
Oh
my
yeah.
fucking life.
Oh, I
Not
bet.
only did he have this, he had a fucking aneurysm at 30 and lived. He had a brain aneurysm. and survived it at 30.
And not only survived it, but went on to live live a normal life after that. Typically, you'd be like,
40
especially back
years later,
when he was
he is
30. Like, how old? Like, what year was it when he was when he was 30? Like
it would have
the
been
60s or
in
something.
the
Like 80s.
80s.
Yeah. Like yeah. Like that's nuts. Yeah. It's
It
been
was
a
crazy.
it's been a while
So
since I've run into somebody like that, but I've always thought like I just need to keep like this portable microphone recorder and like two mics just in my car. Because if I had met that guy, I'd be like, dude, I will buy you lunch. Let's sit at a table, just hold this microphone, and let's talk while we eat lunch. Like,
seriously, for this, I mean, it's in all, it's probably like a good 5 hours we were with this guy. Like Roman and I hardly ever spoke. Like, we
no,
were
you'd
just
be.
listening to him, and
If I met that dude, I'd be hanging. Like, my wife would be asking me something like, what? Huh? No, like, sorry. Like, I'd be hanging on to every word this dude would be telling me. Like, holy shit.
yes, no, exactly. And it was just like, and that's how we were. It was just like, I want to know more about you. You are fascinating.
Did you get his
This is
number? Can we get him on the
incredible.
podcast?
Yes. Like, Roman did get his number. He did message him. Like, I don't think I could probably get him on the podcast because he does have a wife still and like a family and all this shit. So it's just like, hey Nelson, you wanna come over? But seriously, it would turn into a 5 hour long podcast because
I'd be down with that. Sounds like a fascinating dude.
his shit is fascinating, and like with everything, like with his aneurysm, he's also someone that's like, I've heard the Lord talk to me directly, and I was like, I've only seen this in the Bible. I've always wondered if this happens
Yeah.
nowadays, and apparently it does. And I believe him 1,000. Like, there is no reason I don't believe him because of just how he talks about it. It was like a self boasting thing. He was like, I don't know why this happened to me. I am nothing, but I would just be there to help people, and it happened, and it happened with me of like him literally having a fucking brain aneurysm. There's been 5 people in existence to survive, let alone someone 40 years later. And he's like, I shouldn't be here, but I am. And I literally heard the Lord tell me, like, you are cured. And then he went to the doctors, they scanned him, and they were like, this isn't his scan. It's like, no, it is. And they had so he was in Arizona at the time, and in Phoenix, and a great hospital there. They had 2 neurosurgeons from Chicago fly in a private jet to look at his case because it was like he had an aneurysm and lived. He is alive. He's fucking speaking right now. So they were like, we're coming there to analyze him. And all these guys were like, what the fuck? And he was like, so they actually put on my prognosis literal miracle. And then years later, he met a neurosurgeon around here in Lubbock because this neurosurgeon wanted to buy a ranch, and he was the go-between of like the guy selling the land and the buyer. And he was like, oh, hi, I'm so and so. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm a neurosurgeon. He was like, oh, I had a little bit to do with this. This happened to me. And he was like, I studied you. I actually flew to Arizona to look at your file because this is unheard of. And he was like, hi, yeah, that's me. And I was like, what the fuck? This is incredible. Like, I'm into healthcare and all that kind of shit. And I was like, I was damn near drooling on the table at Buffalo Wild Wings, like when he was telling us about this. And he even said, he was like, I don't tell everyone this story because it's a lot and it's very personal, but I just,
I mean,
I want to say it.
when you're saying this, where he's like doesn't talk about it a lot, I'm imagining this kind of like gruff, grizzled, like Clint
He was a
Eastwood.
fucking cowboy.
Yeah.
This man, you think he was a fucking cowboy his whole life.
Right.
He was a fucking nitty gritty.
Yeah, like I'm imagining it's like just like hardened, gritty dude who's been through all this shit. and lived
You
his
know,
life. And but hold on,
good
I
Christian boy
yeah, of
too.
course.
You know,
But
didn't
like
drink a
I
whole lot.
hope this isn't the case. But there's a part of me to be like, it would be sadly poetic where he's like, oh, I don't really talk about this, but then he went and like had this like afternoon with you and your dude at Buffalo Wild Wings, like told his life story, and then like went home and just like, yep, and then just fell asleep and passed away.
Brought home,
I'm not saying
right?
I want this guy to pass away. I'm not saying that, but like it'd be a very poetic ending for this dude's
Right.
life from the sound of it.
I think he was like 74 years old, but like his wife is still working. She's a realtor here in Lubbock, and like they had multiple children, but then they lost their youngest daughter. She had a fucking heart attack, and I was like, he was supposed to be like a professional football player, not professional, but like
Hmm.
he was gonna get picked up by the Sooners for football, like all this shit, and like his grandson is into hockey
Nice.
and is playing in the minor leagues right now, which is very cool.
Oh,
I think in
dope.
like the Arizona area, right? And then, so
Dope.
that like that made me think of you with the hockey stuff. He was fucking cool as shit. I'm not gonna lie. He was just the neatest. And
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to talk about Nelson.
No, it's
Tonight.
awesome. It's an incredible story for sure. And when
He
I remember,
was. I mean, like sometimes every now and then it's like talk to the old people who just happen to say random shit about to you just randomly
oh yeah,
because you never know what fucking stories they can tell you about their lives, and it's fucking, to be fair, way more fascinating than my fucking life. I'll
oh
say
yeah.
that.
Here, listening to that, I was like, I'm just realizing, and even like conversations that I've had with older people, that I'll bring one up that was pretty cool that has always fascinated me that I've had with a guy, but like I don't know, like I think we're just soft now.
Uh, to your point, he even talked about, so he was raised by his grandfather. His grandfather at 13 years old, 13, went to San Antonio to try to join the Rough Riders
Yeah,
with fucking Teddy
with
Roosevelt. And they were
Teddy.
like,
Yeah,
bitch, you're how old? Get the fuck
yeah.
home.
Send me
Like,
up that
yes.
hill. He's like, no, I'm 18. You're like, dude, like you're not 18.
But like he was big. Like this, he was a good 6'2", and he was like, I was the runt of the family.
Good God.
So they had like great genes. He was like, my grandfather at 13 was probably damn near 6 foot and tried to go for the fucking Rough
Rough
Riders. And I
Riders,
was
like,
like,
yeah, send me up that hill, Teddy. Let's go.
and then
Fuck these
so around
Mexicans
here in
or
the Lubbock
Spanish.
area, we have what's called the Chisholm Trail. His grandfather met the fucking Chisholm that had the trail and was on cattle drives with Mr. Chisholm and saw him kill two cattle rustlers that were trying to take cattle from them. He said he took out his fucking handgun and shot both of them. So at 5 years old, he saw two men murdered in front of his eyes because they were trying to
Yeah.
take cattle from
Oh, yeah.
them. And this was this guy's grandfather. And it was just like,
Yeah.
who, like, what?
Yeah.
This is why I could listen to this guy for hours. It was absolutely incredible.
Oh,
And
yeah. It's insane.
I believed everything he said because it's just like,
Well, I mean, he has no
like,
real reason to lie. And even if he was lying, it made for a great afternoon for you, and it's believable because fucking history was like not even that distant history, like
yeah,
from the early 1900s to now, like
yeah,
shit's progressed so fast you forget, like, oh shit, like
yeah. And then even went on to say, like, so his own father beat him and his brother so badly that they somehow got to his grandfather's house and he saw them, that I'm assuming that was his own son.
yeah,
He went to his house with the reins that you use like when you're like old school Amish style when you're plowing fields and
Oh
you're
yeah.
using an ox, those reins that you use, he got one of those and was beating the ever loving shit out of the dad for beating his young boys with those leather reins. I'm just whack, whack, and just tell him, if you ever show your face around here again, I'll shoot you. And then said he didn't see his dad for another 15 years. He came back, and immediately his grandfather was going for his rifle. Like, I fucking told you, if I saw you again, you're dead. And he meant it. And I was like, can you write a book?
I know. That's why I'm like, did you get this guy's number? Like, I'll do a 5-hour episode on a Saturday with this dude for sure. Just like, I won't even like interject. I would just like ask a question and we could just listen.
Right, like me and Roman, no interjection there at all. We were just listening to his every word of just.
Is it like you're probably listening to me? I'd be like, is it possible to like adopt you? And you can just come live with me, and you can just every morning at the dinner table, you can tell my kids about your life and tell like so they realize how fucking soft they are. Like what the
You
fuck?
know my grandmother?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know, seriously, like it's just incredible stories, like the Hollywood shit and just like the hard shit, and like his own grandfather, like the fucking Rough Riders, just like you're, I, I, I didn't do shit with my life apparently. That makes me feel like I don't have any of these kind of stories. I can tell stories from people like I met, but like, god dang, that was just incredible. But anyway, let's talking about
Well,
stories.
stories. I mean, I was gonna tell one not quite as old, but still like fascinating for me, and it's always stuck out of my mind that like when I was in my 20s, I got really into racing, and then really into motorcycle racing, and started working for some race teams, and then like a very well known suspension company, and was just at the I was like 21 at the time maybe at the bar in my hometown that we always went to, and my dad was very well known. And this guy who had been old since I had known him, he was like a friend of my dad's, you know. So he's at this point he was probably like in his late 60s, early 70s. As a 21-year-old, you think that's just old as fuck, you know. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, like, hey man, like, what have you been up to? I was telling him like, oh, I'm doing racing and stuff. And I'm like, at the time I wasn't like racing motorcycles, but I was doing like track, like actual like track motorcycle stuff. And he was like, oh yeah, like, uh, I raced in the Isle of Man, and you probably don't know what this is. The Isle of Man is a motorcycle
The
race.
Alaman TT?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's
Dude, like the stuff I was doing on a motorcycle, like I was like dragging elbows on racetracks and stuff on my motorcycle. The stuff they do in the Isle of Man race is those dudes have to carry around their nuts in a wheelbarrow. And I was like, wait, you did the Isle of Man when? And he's like, oh, like 71. I can't remember what date it was, but I think I want to say it was 71. I was like, for real? He's like, oh yeah. I used to race motorcycles all the time. And he starts like, he sits down, we're having beers, and he was 16, took all his money, and got his motorcycle shipped over to the UK for this race, and had somebody falsify a passport for him to say that he was 20 to race in the Isle of Man.
Holy shit.
And got second in his like motor class at the Isle of Man. But he got second. He missed it by a quarter of a second. He missed first by a quarter of a second.
God dang.
And he's on the podium. He got the medal and everything. And then afterwards, he said he got drunk and told somebody. I was like, oh yeah, like don't tell anybody, but I'm actually 16. And somebody overheard him. And then like the word spread. And then like the racing organization found out about it and like stripped him of it and banned him for life from racing ever again at the Isle of Man.
For life.
for
Oh my
life.
gosh.
But then like
Damn, you're winning.
but then he was telling me at the time in MotoGP, which is like the Formula One of motorcycle racing, um, Nicky Hayden was like the American dude doing it. R.I.P. Nicky Hayden. Died at 35. But when
Dang.
his dad, Nicky Hayden's dad, was a big motorcycle racer at the time, and heard the story and found this guy and hired him onto his race team. So he knew the Hayden family that all raced motorcycles. Like even when I was 21, like the dad that hired this guy, like his kids were all like very upper echelon of motorcycle racing. I was like, "Are you for real right now?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, "Here, I'll show you." And he called the dad. He had his cell phone number, and I had like we were sitting at this bar, and I had a conversation with like Nicky Hayden's dad. It was
Wow.
nuts. I was like, "Holy shit!" And then go on. Like I eventually, like I actually got to meet Nicky Hayden probably about a year or two after that. Super nice guy. Um, I got his autograph on a T-shirt. I bought like one of his T-shirts at the Ducati merch store, and got him to sign it. And then like probably 2 years later, he was this dude. It sucks. He was like I said, he was a super nice guy. A dude who lived his life on literally a rocket on the ground, going 200 miles an hour on a motorcycle for a living. Was just out for a bike ride one morning in Italy, and a drunk driver at 8 a.m. hits him and kills him. You know, so but yeah, like it's yeah. Don't pass up the old timers. They got stories, man. So
Dude, honestly those but that's one thing I learned from my dad of like how are you gonna learn anything from people your age or younger than you? You're not. So my dad always hung out with people way older than him, but like those older
yeah,
guys liked my dad too, and I was attached to my dad's hip, so it was just like I was always
yeah.
there. And it's just incredible. It's incredible, the life people can live and not just their lives, but like their grandparents' lives and like their stories that they can give and sometimes it's lost on their own families because they're so close to it
Right.
and they're like brr, brr,
Yeah, here he
whatever,
goes again with his story about meeting.
right, and it's just like for everyone else it's just like this is incredible, so yeah, like don't ever. And but I feel bad because I did the same with my mom because I'm like, oh, you're telling this story
Oh
again.
yeah.
It's just like it's no one has the time, no one cares, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, Charlie, but quit being such a fucking asshole because these people don't feel this way.
Trust me.
They're not,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I get it all the time from my wife. Like when we go meet new people, and somebody would be like
yeah,
telling some talking about something. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I have a story about this. And my wife was like, you're telling the story again. It's like I don't know these people. Like I have a cool story. Here's my end. Like let me tell my cool stories, bro. You know?
right, yes, and like yeah, it's one thing I need to have a little bit more patience on, but it's hard because it's just like, oh, I've been doing this since I was 10 years old, mom, like, and sitting here, and it's just
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm sure she's
so
she's tired of hearing them because I tell them all the time. Part of it is because I'm me and I want all the attention, um, you know. But also, it's like I meet new people. Like I got a cool story that you guys can like, kind of like, oh, dope. This guy's cool. Like, tell us more. You know? Because I like.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Like I struggle with this. Like I think I think my life has been fairly. I'm not gonna say like I have a crazy life. I would never write a book or anything. But when I look back at some of the events that I've been through, I'm like, oh yeah, I mean that's pretty nuts, and that's pretty nuts, and that's pretty nuts,
yeah.
and that's pretty nuts. Like I showed John Daly my dick one time, you know. Maybe I should just do
Well,
a blog.
and I think even if it's not anything that's published, I think it would be really fun for the next generations to read about their
Oh yeah,
grandfather, their great grandfather, what have you, of even if it's just something in the family. I really wish that's something I had about my dad's family and about my mom's family that, this information and this stuff doesn't die with them because it literally fucking dies with them.
Yeah.
And, we don't know enough. We don't understand this, that, and the other. And, so it's
Yeah.
just like, literally, like, have a journal, write down your shit, have a
Yeah.
fucking diary, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Write down your stuff so when you die, someone might fall upon this and be like, oh my gosh, they documented all of this information. And
Yeah, I actually just had a really
you
good
may not care
idea.
about it that much, but your fucking grandchild, your fucking great grandchild might find it fascinating.
I just had an idea. Like, we should do. It might have to be like a Saturday show or something, but carve out like a decent amount of time and do a call in, like a Zoom in, Riverside in show, and have some of the listeners come in and tell us like their family's like craziest, like, oh, like my grandpa, like, I don't know, punched Rob Reiner in the face one time or something,
Right?
and just tell
Shit.
their fun family stories.
My first boss, they got him to do this. His father, they got him to write down in a notebook. He was at Pearl Harbor the day after the attack at 16 years old because he lied to the
Yeah.
military about
Yep.
how old he was. So he wrote down, he said it to his wife who wrote it down in a notebook. So they brought it to work one day and I got to read it and I was like, this kind of shit. Fucking write it down. Make it something that lasts because this is incredible information.
Oh yeah.
So yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, the stories I hear, like I say, I'm about to just walk around with like a portable recorder because at my previous job, I worked with this Ukrainian guy, and he looked like he was probably in his like early 40s, but it turns out he's like in his late 60s, and he was a communications commander for the Soviet army at Chernobyl when it melted down. And when they figured out like shit's going wrong, they got him out, and he was responsible for all the communications between what was happening at Pripyat and Chernobyl to Moscow. And the stories he would tell, like I was like, holy shit, dude, for real? He's like, yeah, like it was pretty crazy. Like I saw like a bunch of my friends like skin melt off and stuff, and then I was like, well, that's wild. But then he started talking about he's like super, super like Eastern Russian Orthodox Catholic. And I was like, well, wasn't religion like outlawed in the Soviet Union? He's like, oh yeah. And he was like super in the most casual voice somebody could say this in. He's like, my mother and my sister and my aunt were found at like an underground worship service, and they were just drug out in the street and shot. And I was like, what the fuck? And this guy had 10 kids with the same wife. His oldest was like my age, and his youngest was like 18 months old or something like that. I was like, good God, man. Does the government just add money to your paycheck every pay? Like, you got so many deductions.
Goodness. That is fucking insane.
Yeah. So like people like, I love that. I would love to do just like find people with stories. Like just go out somewhere and just start be like, hey man, you got an interesting story, and just record it. Because people like one reason why I love podcasts and podcasting so much is that I feel like most people have really great stories somewhere, even if it's not them personally. They have a great story that they've experienced at some point in their life. So yeah, we should set something up to like do like a nooner call in, and people tell like a family story or something crazy that they've heard from a family member.
And like even the chat right now, there's plenty of people saying like this, Elijah, I see you. Yeah, that would be go to a VFW.
Oh, shit.
Bit like, dude, most VFWs are fucking shut down.
So funny, crazy story about that.
Shut down. You have a national uh, national, what is it called? I
The
can't remember.
Legion? Oh, there's the Legion, right? Which is a little bit different.
Legion.
Yeah. A little different than a
Yes.
VFW. Yeah.
Yes.
But,
The VFW at my place, they shut that shit down.
so,
That's
um,
actually where my parents met, was the VFW in
on,
Snyder. Sorry.
on Sunday, this past Sunday, I went and got breakfast with my mom. And, she was talking about the VFW, like up the street from her house, does like a Friday night tenderloin night and it's open to the public. So they all went. And, I guess like the new, like, I don't know what is it, like commander or president of the American VFWs is like a woman, and she's from the Des Moines VFW up the street from my mom's house. And
Oh,
she was
shit.
there. She had like just gotten like elected or how, I don't know how they do it in a VFW, but she was there for like the Friday night tenderloin night, and everybody's going nuts. And my mom's like, we stayed there until like 2 a.m. talking to all these veterans. It was fucking awesome. So now I'm like, I gotta do Friday night tenderloin night at the VFW. You know, I should do that. I should take my microphones and go to a VFW
Yeah.
sometime. I bet there'd be some wild stories.
I mean, I got to meet some, like one Pearl Harbor survivor and some Vietnam vets when I was younger through the VFW. It was just cool as shit. But then, they would just have dances. And that's what I said. My parents, my mom and dad met at the VFW. My dad asked my mom to dance. She was like, fine. And then she was actually really impressed with how he could dance because he was all biker. She was like, he could actually two-step real well.
She's like,
And,
Charlie, I've never seen somebody do the electric slide so perfectly.
no, no, not exactly that. It was more two-stepping, but she had seen my dad beforehand with some friends, and he was on his motorcycle, and they were like, "Oh, hey, there's Bruce. He's this and that and the other." And she was like, "I would never." Ugh. And then she met him and was like, "Oh."
Oh, oh.
I thought it was hilarious. Like, "Oh, mom, so you weren't interested whatsoever?" And she was like, "No, whatsoever." And I was like, "There's something about this then."
Hey, I mean, that's how it works, you know?
Yeah.
I met my wife because I was plowing her best friend. Uh,
Good lord.
so, anyway, let's get to the question this week. It was, what did I say is like the silliest thing that gives you anxiety?
What was it? I just saw it was what gives you anxiety, and I was like, this doesn't sound very
I think I
fun
said
at
the
all.
silliest thing. Let me
Yeah,
pull it up.
okay, I might not have read that.
What
Something
is
silly.
what is
That's pretty
something
fun.
silly that gives you anxiety?
I just read gives you terrible
Oh
anxiety.
no, that's a very open-ended question, Charlie. Like existential crises in the middle. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, can't fall back asleep, and just start going into an existential crisis about how big the universe is, and just can't go back to sleep, and
Right.
how meaningless life is, and so. Oh, yep. When the waitress says, "Enjoy your food," and I answer, "Thanks, you too."
Dude, I was in the office last fucking afternoon. I heard some ladies talking about that. Oh, like, enjoy your food.
Oh, it's
Oh,
the
thank
worst.
you.
It's the
Like, I just
worst.
literally heard them talking about that, and I was like,
It's the
yeah.
worst. It's the worst. I want to be like, all right, I'm just gonna leave like $100 on the table and leave. I can't. I can't sit here,
I'm on
Dan.
this one where I'm like, oh my gosh, did I just fucking say
Yeah,
that?
it's like,
Like,
oh,
I'm so
God.
sorry. That's dumb. Like, just acknowledge it. Be like,
Do I need to like?
guys,
Do I need
I'm
to
so
invite her
sorry.
to sit down and eat with us now? Like, I don't know what to do. Like,
No, I think a lot of that stuff
I'm
is
sure they
just like,
get it all the
real, like,
time. I'm sure
I
they
feel
get
like,
it. They get it all the time, and they don't even think about it.
yeah, they don't care. They
They're
don't
not even
care.
listening to our response, right? But like,
It's your own shit.
well,
So
when
like,
you're the
as
one
long
who
as you
does it, you're like,
acknowledge it,
but does it
oh
not
my
make
gosh,
you go like, oh god damn it, like fuck?
I can't believe I just did that. Like that always makes me like it's more for me than anyone else. Where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Like and then they're like, fine,
Mm-hmm.
thanks.
But yeah, I get it. That's a
Yeah.
that's a as an adult, that's one of the worst feelings in the world. You're like, fuck.
I know. 'Cause you're like, I was paying attention to what you said, but I already had something in my
Yeah.
head of
Yeah.
what
Oh,
to
thanks, you
say,
too.
and I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Seeing someone from high school in public.
I just completely ignore them now. I'm not gonna lie. I will be a straight up fucking cunt. I have walked past a girl I was ish friends with in high school, and then I might have done some untoward things in her horse trailer like human quarters.
Yeah.
She had one of those nice horse trailers. Yeah, that could have happened at her house, and then I never talked to her again. And then I saw her years later at the grocery store, and we walked past each other, and I didn't acknowledge her at all.
Oh yeah, but luckily I
That's
don't
it.
live. I don't live in the town. I live very, very far from the town I grew up in. But when
Yeah.
I do go back, I'll see somebody like from high school. I'm like, fuck, don't recognize me. Like, please don't recognize me. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want
But
to.
like, it's one of those things. Like, just because we went to fucking high school, like, why does this mean that we have to fucking speak?
But it
We
happens
weren't
every
friends.
time, Charlie. Like, Bill, what's up? I'm like, fuck. Fuck. I'm just trying to hang out with like the one person I came into town to hang out with.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I guess
fuck.
if they're like, "Oh my gosh, hi," like you have to, be cordial.
Well,
Oh, hi, but
my problem is they're typically working there.
oh, good lord, yeah, no, that wasn't the.
You know, I was like, fuck, you're a bartender at this bar like that we used to come to all the time. Like, oh god damn it. Like, all right,
Yeah.
next one. Having to go back into the grocery store because I realized I forgot something while walking back to my car in the parking lot. I do hate that feeling.
Well,
I don't know if it gives me anxiety, but I definitely hate that feeling. I guess it does give me a little bit of anxiety because, like, oh, the same cash register lady's like, oh, did you forget something? I'm like, oh, yes.
I actually get like the person that carried out. Like, did you forget something? Hell yeah, I did. Like, damn
Oh,
it.
oh,
That's not
you
good
have
for
people
you.
carry your groceries out for you.
Do y'all not?
No.
Oh.
I mean, they have
I
that
wouldn't do
service,
like
but it's
Walmart,
mainly
but
for
like
the elderly.
at our grocery store, United, they still do, and it's mostly just high school students. Every now and then, it's an older person, so older as in graduated from high school. Um, but yeah, we have that at the grocery store, so like they walk out with you, and
Oh yeah, here
sometimes
now you're
they're
they're
like,
taking.
"What's happened?" It's like I fucking forgot an onion. It's like, yeah, I understand that it happens.
Yeah,
So that like again, not that big of a deal, man.
I know, but I
You're
think
like,
like
I fucking
here's
forgot this shit.
here's the
And they're
thing.
like, oh, I've been there.
Here's the thing with like stupid anxiety stuff. It's all you.
It
Nobody
is
else cares, right? It's all in your head.
important.
It's all in
You
your
have to
head.
put yourself in their shoes. Are you gonna care if something? Fuck no, you're not gonna care about that person. You're not gonna think about them, nothing. But like for you, you're like,
like fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark, your face is melting down because you have to tell
right?
this person you just forgot
Same
to get
shit.
an
Like
onion.
you feel like dumb as fuck doing
Yeah.
something at the gym, and it's just like no one's gonna think twice about you. They're not gonna remember
Nope.
you, nothing. But you're like, this is
No.
you.
I forgot the onion. I gotta go back. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like such an
Like,
idiot.
why am I doing this to myself?
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing I try
That's
to
the
talk
whole
to,
point.
like,
That's the
why
whole
am I
point of
doing
this
to myself?
question is like silly shit that gives you anxiety. You know.
Right? Yeah.
Um,
I've worked really hard.
Oh, this next
So-
one. This next one is me to a T. Going into a small retail store, looking around, but ultimately walking out without buying anything.
I don't give two fucks about that.
I'm always like, I'll go into like some store, like, well, looks like a cool store, and I like walk around, like, anything you can help? I was like, no, I'm just looking around, and then just like, okay, and just like quietly walk out. I know. Once again, we just talked about
Have a
this.
good day, and then you walk the fuck out.
Ugh. But I get that
I've
one.
never
That
seen
one
shit
hits
like
me
that.
hard. That one hits me really hard.
I have no qualms.
On and off insecurity. I mean, okay. I mean, that's insecurity can definitely lead to some pretty serious anxiety. What's on and off?
Sometimes you're like, yeah, I got
Hmm.
it. And then other times you're like, no.
Oh, I mean, that's being an adult. There's days where I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, you got it, bro. There's days I look in
Right.
the mirror, I'm
Other
like,
times
God.
you're like, I'm going to shoot myself in the
Like,
fucking
ugh.
face.
There's mornings I wake up and look in the mirror, I'm like, why is she married to me? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is all like this is awful. Like, why?
That's so fucking why is she married to me?
Like, why?
That
Why?
fucking that hit me hard. That's funny. But like even tonight, like I usually do look at Instagram and like like I got like the phone up to take a picture of myself and I was like, and absolutely
Yeah.
fucking not.
It's
There's no
not happening tonight. Sorry, Instagram.
Nope.
Negative. But yeah, I get that. I get like there's times. I mean, we've been doing this show for years. Everybody knows. Like, I am the most.
I don't know if it gives me anxiety though, but it's just like when it's like, not there today. Nope.
I mean, for me personally, it gives me anxiety because, like, when I get that moment in the morning, I think about it all day. I'm like,
Oh.
God, do I need to do I need to like go see somebody about like my nose and like my fucking basset hound eyes and like do all this
Aw.
shit? Yeah, I will. Like, I'm serious. I look in the mirror some mornings. I'm like, why the fuck did she marry me? Like, oh my
Aw.
God,
I live by myself and I only have
I
my
look
cat.
terrible.
So I'm like, everything's perfect.
Which, by the way, your cat's like, yes, look awful, which means nobody
It's like,
takes you
bitch,
away
could
from me.
fucking lose a few pounds. And I'm like, I know, Freddie, but other than that.
But I feel like you and Freddie have had that conversation. You're probably like high one time, and Freddie's like meowing at you, and you're just like, I don't need to lose a few pounds. You need to lose a lot of pounds, Freddie. You fat fuck.
You did. And he's like, man. I'm like, I know I feed you too. Like, it's all on me. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten high and had a conversation with your cat?
I don't have to be high.
You just do it.
Like, to be fair, I just look at him and he's a very call and response cat. I say something, he meows back. I say something, he meows. So like I can just make up my own conversations. Meow. I'm like, I know. It's like, meow. Like, come on, man, you don't have to fucking harp on it. Meow. Ah, Fatty, why? You cut me deep, bro.
But in
Yeah.
his head, he's like, you keep talking. All I'm saying is, give me food, bitch.
Well, like most of the time, he's like, just pet me, and I'm like, why do you hate me?
Actually, I think Freddie's voice. Do you ever like imagine what his actual like internal monologue is like? He's probably
Okay,
like,
so he's
like some
made
French, like some just like absurd French, like, Charlie, it's been 90 minutes since you fed me.
So I don't know if you saw this. Jeep made this the other day, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen. So, but it's let's see if it.
Yep, that'd be Freddie.
So I'm like English accent and like perfect, even though he is from Houston. So I think the accent might be a little bit different, but I think that works well with like the classical music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what his accent would be, but he's just very judgmental, I feel. But he's like, bitch, I'm big, you feed me. And I'm like, like I have no one to blame but myself sort of scenario. Even though he bitches at me incessantly, but he's like, he would still put the blame on me even though he bitches at me. That's, I call him Freddie Mercury for a reason. He's a fucking queen, so he's gonna be like, nah, bitch, like, if this is on you. And I'm like, I know, Freddie, I'm sorry. Anyway, enough with my cat.
Freddie is a big Cher fan.
I wonder. I don't know. He is something to be studied. He is. I love that stupid fuck so much, though.
He reminds me. I've never met him in person. He reminds me of a dog in a cat's body.
Seriously, when I'm working, he won't come into the office because I usually have the light on. So he's like, it's too dark for me. So he'll poke his head out from like the door frame as he's laying, and he'll just show his face, and I'm like, you're just fucking and I even told Roman, I was like, just tonight, I was like, when that fucking cat dies, I'm taking myself out. Like, there is no me without him now. I will die when he dies. So,
Bury me with Freddy.
yeah. I will kill
Charlie
myself.
gets buried alive with her cat.
Seriously, he is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm like, I have a lot of life left, and he doesn't. What am I gonna do?
Or
So,
or or Freddy dies and Roman comes to visit you like 2 days later and you're being like super like what's that Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he's like the schizo dude on the island and they're doing the whole role play thing?
Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. Be like, Charlie, where's Freddy? It's like, oh, Freddy's just sleeping in the other room. And you have well, and you're like just being all crazy, like, yes, Freddy's just asleep. Freddy's just asleep.
I have said I will get him taxidermied or made into a nice hat.
Yeah.
So,
See,
like,
here he is.
way,
Here he is.
either way,
Here's a good Freddy. He's just like,
I don't know. Either way, he's gonna be with me forever. And I tell him this all the time. Like, he knows. He knows. I know we'll be okay, but that's for future Charlie to worry about. Let's go to the next. We have 3 minutes
hold on,
left.
I
before
gotta
have
respond to
make
this.
questions.
William just made a super nice King of the Hill reference.
Does that have to do with Bill?
No, it's about Freddy as the small WD can to get your larger WD can unstuck.
You made that reference yesterday too. That was a great reference.
This was okay. So next, we'll get through these as quick as we can because I know you've got like food in the oven. The urge to get myself off after a long day of work. That's not anxiety. That's a compulsion, which I share as well. My boss at happy hour sharing her story about how her current marriage was the result of an affair with another married man. I don't know if I'd have anxiety about that, but I'd be like, oh, okay.
Dude, some people at work share way too much shit, and it's just like, we're at work, bitch.
This one's not silly, but I understand the anxiety. Watching videos of people climbing and hanging off of extremely tall buildings and towers without ropes and protection. Oh yeah, it makes my palms sweat.
Hate it. They even talked about that on RBR tonight. And like, there's a guy that did that and then fucking died.
I made it about 15 minutes into free solo, and I was like, I can't. Like I'm already like. Dealing with Gen Pop, yeah.
Is that silly though? I don't think that's silly. I think that's pretty.
I think that's very something like our generation. Like even though the internet wasn't huge until I got probably into my early teens, I think the internet's just made people like so anxious about being social. Like my wife is incredibly antisocial. Like she cannot handle being social with new people. I'm a very social person everywhere. Like when we go on vacation, it drives her nuts. We'll be at a bar and within 15 minutes I'm best friends with the people sitting next to us. You know, it drives her nuts. But then she becomes best friends with them. So
I don't have that ability, but that is something I absolutely adore with Roman because he is that. But I can't do that. And I absolutely love it. And
I do think it's more of a guy trait. I'm not saying that women don't do it, but I think it's more of a guy trait to do it.
There's something about it. And I'll try, but like I don't always, it just doesn't happen as easily, even like woman to woman. It just, there's something about it. But like, when I'm around people that can do that, I admire it so much because like it's always fun with more people and getting to know people. And once I kind of like know a little bit, like I'm a little bit more comfortable and there's drinks coming, and it's just like, oh my gosh, we're all just here to have fun. I really enjoy that. I enjoy that so much. But if it's just like a group of guys, I'm like,
yeah, nah, miss me with that.
Like you can do your guy stuff. I'm just gonna sit here and fucking drink and look at my phone. Like I'm not here to like make friends with like, dudes because
This next one, I get this one for sure. It doesn't make me anxious, but it's definitely something in the back of my mind. Trying to gauge how to walk behind a woman in a parking lot in a way that doesn't make her uncomfortable.
not directly behind her is one.
Yeah, right. You have to like, do I move over here? But my car's over there,
Yes.
which is right behind
Well, like even
her.
myself, like what would I do if I was walking in front of behind someone? Like I would over here.
I know, but like
over there,
I get it. But as a guy,
I'm
like,
walking back,
like coming out of
single fucking file here. Like we.
oh, it happens to be like all the time. I come out of the grocery store. There's always just like a woman by herself, like right in front of me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna slow my pace down, give her some space. My car's over here, but oh shit, she just moved into that lane I was gonna walk in. Like I was okay,
We
so
have
I'll
people
stay
that
over
carry
here.
our fucking
I know.
groceries, so I don't have to worry about.
But
that.
I get that one. I get that. Like, how do I do this without? I don't want to like freak anybody out. Like I know like women now have to walk around thinking everybody's gonna rape them, but.
I do love the reels that are like, just making sure this woman gets home safely, and they're like running behind.
I mean, it's hilarious at the same time. Like, bro, like talk about traumatizing somebody.
It's funny for a reel,
Yeah. Watching it is funny. I'm sure in real life that woman's like, "What the fuck?"
Well,
Pepper spray.
those aren't reels. Like the people, they're all actors.
Oh yeah,
so
it's got to be
that's just
staged,
it. It's
or else that dude
hilarious.
be pepper sprayed in an instant.
Right. Like for me, it's like you're getting shot. I
I was just trying to make a funny reel. When my wife is being too nice to me. Feel that one too. I'm like, what do you want?
What do you want?
Or what did you do? Or what do you want?
What did you do? Did you hit the car into something? What
Yeah.
did you do?
I have a feeling I'm gonna go out in the garage and the wheels on your brand new car are gonna be fucked. Like, what did you
Why
do?
are you wearing the see-through shirt that
Yeah.
I like so much?
Yeah.
This is.
Like, yeah, what?
What did you do?
Is there something you need to tell me? Get that one. The airport? I don't get anxious at airports. But I've traveled a lot, so.
What is this, 9/11?
I know. When I get a bad haircut, I hate it, but I can't bring myself to say anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I've had that. Like, kind of like, well, it looks great. Because I know it might, like, maybe for women or people with longer hair, I'm not going to say women, like, even guys with longer hair. Like, okay, like, if it's bad, it's like, there's enough. But it's like, there's enough to where, like, this can be fixed. For me, like, when I get my hair cut, it doesn't look great. I'm like, there's nothing really going to happen that's going to make it look any better. So I'm just like, yeah.
You gotta wear a fucking hat.
Looks great. Yeah, it was.
Thanks.
When I know.
Taking fucking pictures soon.
Yeah. When I know my lady is horny, but I'm not in the mood, but I know I gotta perform.
Welcome to being a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, yeah. But I get it. I've been there. I'm like, shit, I've had a lot to drink tonight. Like, but she's ready to roll. Like, shit. Let's go. Like, just keep it together. Because if you fail, you're never going to hear the end of it.
I guess for women, it's like we're not there. You can always use lube, but for the guy, it's like,
Oh, come on.
but it does go both ways.
Or the worst. I mean, like getting like not being able to get it up is rough. The worst is when it's like it is up, but you just know you're not gonna like climax. You know, and you're like,
That
oh god,
means
like is she
That's
gonna
not
think
the worst
something's
thing
wrong
for
with
the lady.
her? Like I know it is. I know. But you gotta think, in guys' mind, they're like, oh god. This one too for me, having to call someone instead of texting. Please just let it go to voicemail. I hate calling. I hate calling. Oh, another one that is just me. Not physically confirming your airport gate exists before going to grab a drink. I do it every time. I'm getting ready to travel for work. The second I get off my plane at my layover, I will walk and find my gate and be like, "Yep, there it is. Cool, it's there. I know it's there."
Like
And now I'm gonna go
Not
grab.
far away from my gate.
Yeah,
when
now
I
I'm gonna
to
go
drink.
grab a drink. I know it. I know my gate exists. I know it's there.
Right there.
Yeah, that's all. Like that's like a white dad move. Like, yep, there it is. Gate exists.
Yep.
Picking up a girl on a first date, and she tells me to put in quotes, put on whatever music I want to listen to.
Bitch, grow up.
Maybe. I mean, I get it. Like your first dates, you're nervous, right? You're like, what should I put on? What should I
Grow the
put on?
fuck up. Be yourself. Stop it. Stop. Whoever you are. I
Akon.
don't.
The correct answer is Akon. I want to fuck you. Just get that out of the way.
No, it's not. But grow up.
It is.
That is-
Don't listen to Charlie. That's the answer. That's the answer. Just get it out of the way. When someone texts you back, okay, with a period at the end.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. You're like, what? What did I say? What did I do? Why?
And
Why?
if it's just like a parent, not okay.
Asking the price of something, knowing I don't have the money to buy it either way.
Then what are you doing?
I know. I don't do that. My wife does it all the time. She'll be like, we should get quotes. We should get quotes to like do this. And I'm like, why? Like, we don't have the money for it. She's like, well, we don't know until we get a quote. It's like, I know we don't have the money for it. Like,
No.
let's not get people out here to give a quote for something that we don't have money for.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't approve of that.
No. When I asked someone to repeat something and still didn't hear them the second time.
Oh, that's the worst.
You're like, yeah. That does suck. Planning an efficient vacation. There's no such thing as an efficient vacation. Too many of the same likeness in one spot. What does that mean? I know my wife does not like. So we live in the Midwest.
Racist.
We live in the Midwest, so there's like windmill farms everywhere out in the cornfields.
Oh,
She has this weird thing about too many of one thing. So there'll be like 300 windmills within view. Freaks her out. Anytime there's like a huge flock of birds, it freaks her out. Get that one? No, not reading that one, Wim. Ford Mustangs, sure. Seeing someone going door to door and having to tell my kids to be quiet and pretend no one is home.
understandable.
Yep.
I hate that shit so much.
Oh yeah. I'm like, don't. We have like a ring doorbell, so like the whole house lights up. Like somebody's at your front door. And my kids are like, Dad, somebody's at the front door. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I already saw it. It's a door to door dude. Shut up. Don't look out the window. What are you doing?
Yeah.
There was one time recently, I took my kids like to the gas station to get slushies, and we were driving back up to the house, and I saw like somebody with their kids, obviously doing like one of those like selling chocolate bar fundraiser things at my front door, and I just drove right past the house and went back around the neighborhood. My kids were like, Dad, what? I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
Just don't. Granted, I did have one of those when I had Alfred with me for the weekend when Roman went to a football game in Chicago. And so I was like, well, he heard the dog bark. Like, this is going to happen. But he wasn't too bad. It was harder than shit because I just took the dog for a walk. And I was like, hey, man, I have some canned sparkling water. Are you thirsty? And he was like, please, for the love of all that's holy, yes.
Oh.
Here's a bubbly, and it was I love the bubbly, like this strawberry.
It's pronounced buble. Okay.
Oh gosh, it's so good. And he was like, and I was like, I have the unflavored and the flavored. And he was like, I'm gonna take the flavored
Flavored.
one.
Ooh, know what I found that another parent in our hockey group suggested to me? We found it this summer because me and my wife typically do like vodka LaCroix.
Mm-hmm.
At I don't know if it's everywhere, but here only Target sells it. But it's a bomb pop flavored bubbly
Interesting. I
with
haven't
the
seen
vodka.
that.
Oh, like when it's hot, like sitting out on the porch or like our hot tub when it's hot outside. Dope. This kind of goes. The next one kind of goes off of what we've already done, but I also get it. Getting K as a response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Answering this for KCS women. I don't. Do you know what that means? KCS women?
No.
I don't know what that means.
But I'm like, this is going into my steak time. So
Yep,
I'm like,
yep. We got two more. So
okay.
passing a cop on the highway with a beer in my hand. Yeah, well, that's not silly. That's just.
For fuck's sake.
And the last
I
one.
would say that's silly.
The last one is the Jews. So we'll just skip that one. But yes, Charlie's got steaks cooking.
Yes.
I got football to watch. This has been the Nooner Nation. You already know what it is. Like, subscribe, rate, review. Make sure I click the right button this time. For Charlie, miss you, Jake. I'm Bill. Love you guys.